Hey guys, so there are three things that I think every person that's starting or has been struggling possibly for years to hit some wellness goals, whether it's fitness or nutritional goals or whatever goals. If you have been struggling for a little while with this, or you're just starting out, there's three things that I think people need to really nail down in order to be successful with their goals. And I do this in my goal setting meetings with my clients all the time. But the top three things that somebody needs to kind of write out, think about, reevaluate, add to, it's a mindset thing, so it's, it's a work in progress. But the first thing that I think that people might be missing that they really need to get down is their why. So why do you want to be fit, or why do you want to improve your health or your fitness or your wellness? What is your exact reasoning? And a lot of, most people think, well, because I want to lose weight, or because I, just don't feel good. Well, it goes a lot deeper than that. So we've been conditioned our whole lives to do exactly what we're doing every day. And in order to change those things, you have to get real with yourself and your goals. So why are you doing this? Is it going to affect you down the road with your family? Do you want to live longer so that you can see your kids graduate college, get married, be able to play with your grandkids easier and take them on hikes and all of the fun stuff? Or do you want to be inspirational to other people? Do you feel a calling to sort of help other people around you get fit as well? There's a lot of different things that play into why we do this. But if you don't know why you're doing it, then you're probably not going to stay super consistent with it. And I see this a lot. So a lot of times people are just doing it because some people around them expect them to be a certain way. And I don't think anybody can really succeed at this if it's something external. It has to be your want. It has to be something you really want to do in order to make it successful. So I want you guys to be thinking back in your life, and a lot of times you can tell your triggers too. So that will help you if you think, if I slip up, or say it's nighttime and I binge on something or whatever, I ask myself what made me do that? What triggered me to slip up and slip off track? And by thinking that through, every time you do it, you get a little bit closer maybe to really getting to the underlying reasons. So what is your why? That's the first thing that you need to write out, be really clear about, and the more in depth you can get, the more likely you are to be successful. So if you don't know why you're doing this, you really have to nail this down. So if you're just telling yourself, I just want to lose weight, that's not it. Go deep. You have to go deep on this one. A lot of times, we as kids, we're taught how to eat, and we have to think that, I'm almost 40, so 40 years ago, what were my parents taught? How were they, a lot of the stuff that your parents do when you're a kid is how you turn out as an adult. You're doing a lot of the same habits that they had. So are you living your parents' life? You need to start asking yourself these questions. Like, is this, you can create your own life. You can create your own lifestyle. You can change it. So, all right. So that's number one. What is your why? Nail it down. Really dig deep on this. We need to change your mindset. If you haven't been successful, then I'm sure it's almost always a mindset thing. So, then number two. So what are the things that have held you back in the past? What are your barriers? So, number two, what are your barriers to success? I want 3 to 5 solid things with my clients. If you are struggling with staying consistent with your eating, or when you're eating out, not knowing what to order, or how to avoid social binging, whether it's at parties or, whatever you personally struggle with, you need to write that down and be really clear with when that happens, what makes that happen, how you can, now we're going to get into number 3, and what are the sacrifices you have to make to overcome those barriers. So if you want to be successful, there's always going to be some something holding you back. In the fitness world, we call those excuses, right? So I'm always saying no excuses, no excuses. Well, what does it mean to be making excuses? It's not something that we do intentionally usually. An excuse is something that we believe to be the reason for slipping up. Well, if you can get those crystal clear and you can write out, these are the things that I have to sacrifice. I'm going to have to get up early because I really don't have time during the day. So I know that 3 to 4 days a week, I'm going to have to get up early to work out, or I'm going to have to food prep better on the weekends because I find that I'm skipping meals and then I'm binging, or whatever, whatever it is for you, nail that down. Get it crystal clear. These are, 3 to 5 things that I'm struggling with, and then these are the couple of things for each of those that I can work on to overcome it. And if you can write all this out and reevaluate it once a week or every couple of weeks or something, you're going to be way more successful. In my goal setting meetings with my clients, I have them write this all out, take it home, write it out, think about it, and then I take a copy of it for me so that every time we reevaluate their goals or we do their weights and measures, sometimes we have something we can look back on, and I can say, have your whys changed? If you're slipping up, it's my job to kind of come back and say, okay, well, you told me that it was because you're pre-diabetic right now. You're worried about your health. You're worried about, living the next 5 to 10 years, or whatever. And I've got it in writing, in their handwriting, and it says, this was my why. And I can always come back and I can say, hey, okay, so has any of this stuff changed? Do you not feel this anymore? Do you not feel that it's important because of these reasons anymore? And it's a mental thing. So, all right, well, so those 3 things. What's your why? What is keeping you from hitting your why, or, hitting your goals? The 3 to 5 things. And then what are the things you have to do to make sure that those 3 to 5 barriers are no longer barriers for you? So what do you have to sacrifice? So that's number 3. What do you have to sacrifice to make it happen? Get those really clear and see if you're willing to even do those things. Because I hear it a lot where people are saying that they have these goals and they want to do it, but when it comes down to it, they're not showing up. They're hitting a couple workouts a week, and they really don't want anybody watching their every move because they know that they're not on track. And it's almost always because these 3 questions haven't been answered in their mind. They don't know why they're doing what they're doing, or what it's going to feel like when they get there. And maybe they're really doubting that they're ever going to even make that happen. And if you can get a crystal clear roadmap to where you're starting and where you're going to end up, it takes a lot of the doubt out of it. So let's work on that and see what we can do. So if you are struggling and you need accountability, which is outside your comfort zone, this is what's going to make you successful. You need to ask your coaches, or try and get a friend on board who can help you stay accountable, and make little goals to try and get there. I'd like to do a no sugar challenge every once in a while with people, because just cutting out sugar and bread sometimes can make a huge difference with your weight loss and things. So, all right, well, think outside the box. Get really real with yourself. Ask yourself all the hard questions, if it hurts, if you're like in tears or it hits on some really tough spots, which it should, if you're really thinking about these things, it should cause some, a little bit of emotions in you, then it means that you're on to something and you're having a breakthrough. So that's what you want. You don't want it to always feel comfortable. You want to feel uncomfortable, because that's when you're leveling up. If you want to level your shit up, you need to freaking really go deep on some of this stuff. A lot of us women, it's a mommy issue. We saw our moms struggle with weight or anorexia or whatever, and we have internalized it and made it our own issues. So get real with yourselves, and don't, just stop giving yourself reasons why this is never going to happen, because you're talking yourself into making sure that it never happens. So, all right, well, if you guys need to chat with me or whatever, reach out. I'm always running challenges. I'm always running different coaching things that might, and I can probably almost always find one that works for you. So, reach out and we will talk soon. Oh yeah, I love all you guys, and I've seen some amazing things. This should probably be a whole separate video, but you guys, my clients, you guys are all doing so great, especially the ones in the clean eating group right now. Like, I've seen some awesome progress with some of this mindset stuff lately. So, all right, let's get deep and let's hit our goals for this year. Like, we still got 11 months. So 11 months left in this year. That's a long time, and I've seen people lose 100+ pounds in a year. So let's do this. Bye, guys.